Hi everyone, this is Megan Van Petten.
And this is Lindsay Poss. You're listening to the EsportsNext podcast. Here, we will highlight the fantastic guests and speakers at the EsportsNext conference.
EsportsNext 2022 is presented by Morgan Stanley and is located in Sweet Home, Chicago. Don't forget to register to secure your spot at the conference and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to this episode of EsportsNext podcast, the official podcast of the EsportsNext conference. I'm Megan Van Petten, and I'm joined today by my friend and co-host, Lindsay, the Boss Poss.
Hi, everyone. This episode, we are delighted to welcome Jill Williamson, who is Managing Attorney and Head of Compliance and Regulatory Group at Gravis Law. As she aforementioned, she has many titles. She also serves on ESTA's Business Development Committee. Jill, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Oh man, this has been a long time coming. You've been a multi-year sponsor. It's your second. And we are so happy to have this wonderful partnership with you and Gravis Law. You've been such a support. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into esports? What do you currently do with esports and gaming? I know you mentioned you're not a gamer, but you're here, so you have to talk about it a little.
So, as one might guess from my title, I'm an attorney, and my practice and a lot of the other attorneys in my firm, we do a lot of work in the technology space with startups and early stage companies. And so, through that work in particular, I do a lot of work with blockchain based technology companies. And so through that work, we got introduced to esports. So I have a number of clients that are doing, like I said, blockchain based gaming and also technologies that are designed to work in the ecosystem. So I have a client that's building a digital banking application that's designed for esports. So that's sort of our introduction to the gaming space, is through technology and technology law.
You do have a lot of clients in our space, or you're on your way to a decent amount of representation, and that's why we thought that you would make a great judge at our elevator pitch competition. I'd love to share a little bit about the elevator pitch, business pitch. We have a workshop that Sharon Gill leads, and we have people that qualify, apply, and then work really hard to present at the conference. And there's a lineup of judges. And this year, you are one of the chosen judges. Can you tell us a little bit about why you accepted the position of being a judge and some tips and tricks in getting funding?
Sure. So first of all, I expect that you want me to tell you things besides the fact that judging people is one of my favorite things to do.
That's just being real too.
I'm just super judgy. No. One of the things I really enjoy about my work and my practice is working with people who have big ideas. Having spent several years working for Fortune 100 companies, whose ideas are, not big, incremental. I really, really love working with founders and startups and early stage companies and bringing their ideas into fruition. And that's one of my favorite parts of my job. And so the judging of the pitch contest really appealed to me in that respect. Just listening to folks, pitch their ideas, why they think it's a good idea, what they think their path to success is, and helping them work through that really, really appeals to me. I think tips and tricks. So I have a few tips and tricks that come from my lawyer past, which have to do with, mock trials and moot courts. And one of them is the judge is never wrong. So if a judge asks you a question that you think is stupid, which could happen, don't make the judge feel stupid. And if
That's good.
the judge is never wrong because the judge is the judge. So accept the question, lean into it, try to find a way to, gently educate and redirect without making the judge feel stupid. Um, and also, if a judge asks you a question, even if it seems crazy, out of whack, or like I said, wrong, welcome the opportunity to redirect the judge or educate them. So, I was told, and I would tell others when I coach them, that every question a judge asks you is an opportunity to tell them things that they need to hear to decide in your favor. So welcome the questions. Think of them as opportunities. So those aren't about business plans or pitching per se. But they are, like I said, I think really good tips on being questioned and helping the questioner find a way to vote in your favor. As far as substantively things that I look for, I'm a lawyer, so I do, and this is in some ways a very regulated space, depending on what your actual idea is. There's a lot of regulation that could impact your path to success. And so I do like to hear that folks have at least thought about the regulatory and legal landscape and have a plan for either sussing out how they will determine, what laws apply to them and how they'll comply, or even have done some preliminary research and have some preliminary plans on, compliance and legal risk. I don't expect this stage for them to have a, hired outside counsel or have a full legal and risk compliance roadmap, but some recognition that those factors might impact the success of your company. I think, that's part of what I'll be looking for.
One of the things, I'll just jump in here really quick, Lindsay. One of the things I personally like about you is I believe that when you're hiring your team as an entrepreneur or, getting funding or whatever, your team is also your attorney. You have an attorney, you have a coach, you have a marketing firm, you have whatever your team is. I love you, Jill, because you look at things on so many levels. You think really big, you get it very quickly, and then you can go really granular. And that's why I think you're going to make a great judge. So thank you for that, very thoughtful answer. That was amazing.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Well, speaking of all this, I know that Gravis Law has decided to sponsor all of the elevator pitch competition. Actually, I would love to just get to know kind of why your firm decided to do that, what the opportunity is there, and how you're thinking about interacting with all these great pitch competition attendees and getting their new ideas. So tell me a little bit about that.
As I said, all of the business attorneys at Gravis Law do a lot of work with technology companies, early stage companies. And so that's, we consider that a real sweet spot of ours. And so the elevator pitch contest really fits into our practice in that, these are entrepreneurs, founders, who have an idea, who may have been working on this idea. Maybe they have existing companies already, but they're trying to get to the next level. And we work with those folks every day. And so, we did think that it was a great opportunity to give something. Sponsorship is meant to contribute to the community. And so we thought this was a great place for us to contribute, but also a great place for us to display our skills in that stage of a company development, the ability to, understand where the company, the founders, the entrepreneurs, whatever your contestants, whatever your noun is for that, to understand where they're trying to get to and to help them craft a really practical risk-based plan to get there on a strong legal and regulatory foundation. So, like I said, I think it's a great intersection of the most impact that we can have, as well as the best ability for us to display our strength in that space. And also Megan
Yeah, and
suggested it, and Megan's never wrong.
Oh boy.
I just think Jill, like, I love Jill's counsel style. And, attorneys literally, like, I go to them, they're counselors, they're here as our partners, our counselors. Everybody knows I'm a big advocate with coaches. I know here, Jill, that you're, at Gravis Law, and you're part of in this season of your life, you're really making the dream work. And that, you can't hire just passion, but when you find it, it's my job to find passionate people and bring the best of the best to our community. And that's what I feel that, you just really have a lot to offer, and that's why we hold you. And I never really thought about the judge. You obviously, going to law school, you were probably taught the judge is always right. I don't even really, I've never even really been in court, so I don't even know, but you would know, so I believe you.
Yeah, I did a lot of moot court stuff in law school, and then I did some moot court judging for several years after that. And so I did early in my career spend a lot of time thinking about judges. I did some trial work. And it's a big part of any competition is the judge, right? Like even in sports or you look at gymnastics or figure skating, you do have to think about what the judge wants, which, is a little, I want to say, superficial in this context where people have real ideas and real businesses and they're looking for a real opportunity. But it's also just a skill about reading the room and, getting your message across in a way that can be heard. So aside from the superficiality of the, what does the judge want, I think there is a demonstration of important business skill in there.
That's what I was going to say earlier as well, is I think it's a valuable lesson to not make anyone feel stupid when they ask you a question. I think it's so easy to get excited about sharing your knowledge, and I can sympathize with people who just want to share everything all at once, but you have to learn how to package that so that you're also giving your best to someone else. And I think that there's a lot of value in that, in and out of pitch competitions and boardroom meetings and all that, just in real life, human to human interaction. So I think that that's very sage advice. I do want to know, though, what else you're excited to see at EsportsNext 2022. I know that we have the pitch competition, but what else are you looking forward to?
I'm so excited about everything. I would love to get, are you guys going to have actual like gaming demonstrations, and are we going to be able to get in and do some gaming? Because that would be awesome.
We do, and we have not solidified as to what yet this year. So there will be some of that. Yes, this is Jill's first conference as well as Lindsay's.
Yeah. We'll be moving together.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll probably just be like a child at a playground. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I mentioned I'm really energized by ideas. So I love to just see, folks at a conference like this. In my experience, they're out there with their ideas, and if you stop at a booth or if you go to a panel, you get to hear people's passions and hear their ideas. And I find all of that very energizing. And so I probably, like I said, I'll be like a kid in a candy store, just, stumbling from booth to booth, from presentation to presentation, and just saying, "Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, what a smart idea." I also am really looking forward to meeting in person all of the folks that we've interacted with over Zoom in the last couple of years, between the esports happy hours and coffees and the business development committee meetings, and the interactions we've had with Megan and Lindsay and the rest of the team. It'll be really, really fun to finally meet and see everybody in person. There's as I think impactful and important these technologies are that have allowed us to stay connected and work together over space and time. Nothing really beats IRL interaction at the end of the day. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I couldn't agree more. In the meantime, pre-conference, where can people find you, follow you, find Gravis Law, keep up with the work you're doing? Can you plug anything for us?
Yeah, so Gravis Law, we're at gravislaw.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I don't have a lot of socials. Probably something I should work on. So as far as following me outside of LinkedIn, I mean, yeah, I'm on Facebook. It's mostly like literally social, not work social. Um, so yeah, probably the Gravis Law website or my LinkedIn are the best places to find me. And anything that we publish, like I did a podcast a couple of weeks ago on crypto regulation and trends. That's all going to be posted to LinkedIn and my profile on the website. So, as far as content, developments, publishing, all of that you'll find on the website or LinkedIn.
So awesome. Well, Jill, thank you so much for joining us today. For all the listeners out there, to find out more about EsportsNext or register, visit esportsta.org, and we will see you next time.